Hello, my friends! Welcome to another segment of Tea with Me. I should probably put this down. I'm about to spill it. Tea with Me is like a little thing that I started a while ago where I chat about a topic while I drink tea. That's pretty much it. Sometimes it is something that I just kind of like want to talk about, or something that is like more on the personal side of my life, and sometimes it's like a frequently asked question. Today happens to be both at the same time. I thought that I would talk a little bit about synesthesia. Just a little disclaimer, I have not really studied synesthesia at all. So everything I'm going to say in this video, which is the case with all of these videos, is purely based on my personal experience with being a synesthete. It is also different for many people. There are many different kinds of synesthetes. So today I'm just talking about the way that it plays out for me. Today's tea choice is actually my current fave kind of tea. And it has been my favorite tea for like a while now, so I think it's settled as like my favorite tea. It is a coconut oolong tea, and I put just a little bit of honey in it, and it is delicious, wonderful, love it. I just realized my air filter is still on. I need to turn that off. Okay, that's a little better. So maybe you're watching this video and you're like, Emma, I have no idea what synesthete means. I've literally never heard this term in my life. Well, according to the internet, a synesthete is a person with synesthesia, a condition in which the normally separated senses are not separated. Sight may mingle with sound, taste with touch, etc. For example, when a digit color synesthete, that's like a type of synesthete, a digit color synesthete, sees or just thinks of a number, the number appears with a color film over it. In other words, the number goes with a color, and to you, that number is associated with that color. I do have this for numbers and letters and music and people. Those are the main ways that I'm a synesthete. However, it's not like feel or, what was the other one it said? Not feel or taste. I don't eat food and think of colors. Most synesthetes find their unusual sensory abilities enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. It is a huge part of my creativity. A lot of times when people like ask me how I'm so aesthetic, I just want to be like, yeah, well, I'm a synesthete, so everything to me goes in colors. I didn't even realize this till I was talking about my color associations in a video. I was talking about how people that I'm really close with or people that I know really well, I often associate very specific colors with them. And a bunch of you guys, this was a while ago now, like probably even 2 years ago now, a bunch of you guys were like, that means you are a synesthete. So the other day, I was listening to one of the playlists that I've made, and it's called Mood 4. It used to be called Moods. Whenever I have labeled something mood and then a number, it is a color association thing. So I do this for playlists, I do it for Pinterest boards as well, and Mood 4 in general is my like yellow association thing. It also has to do with other colors, like green sometimes gets in there, but for the most part, in general, it is the color yellow. I'm getting hot drinking this tea with the lights and all. Goodness. Whew, that's better. So I was listening to this playlist Mood 4 that I've made. I'll link it down below in the description of this video. And it just got me thinking what an interesting color yellow is, because to me, yellow is one of the most complex colors. This playlist that I've made is one of my favorites because of that, because I think I really like hit the nail on the head, which is interesting because like no one else can tell that except for me, because a different synesthete will probably associate different music with the color yellow. But I was just listening to this playlist that I've made of all these songs that remind me of the color yellow, or that I see as the color yellow when I listen to them. And I was thinking about, it is so difficult for me to explain these playlists because I often do get asked questions like, what are these playlists that are like mood and then a number? How do you explain it? Because it is just like, oh, I associate it with the color yellow. But there's also a story that goes along with it, which is what I think is very interesting. And I don't know if this is because I'm a creative person, so I've kind of like filled in a story as I think about synesthesia or whatever. So I thought that I would just talk about synesthesia and talk about specifically the color yellow as an example. So yellow, to me, is a really, really complex color. It can mean anything from anxiety to happiness, which I think a lot of people would see as like opposing things, anxiety and happiness, but I actually don't think so. I think that you can be happy and have anxiety. I've experienced it many times in my life. I also think that having anxiety or similar struggles allows you to open up to like a wider range of happiness than people who have had easier lives. The color yellow is also a really powerful color. It is like any really powerful emotion that is platonic. So love was never yellow for me. If I felt happy while I was in love, that was yellow. But love itself was not yellow. It's usually red or like golden, which I know is similar to yellow. This is why I don't explain synesthesia a lot, because it's just hard to explain. And I've never talked to another synesthete before, like in person, so I'm not sure if like when I talk about it, other synesthetes relate, or if it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like that. A lot of Namjoon or RMs from BTS, a lot of his solo songs are yellow to me. Not like the ones that are on BTS albums, but like one of the songs on here is Gaja by Gaiko and RM. RM was like featured on this song. It's a great song. It's a whole bop if you've never listened to it. And to me, this song is like real yellow. Another song on here is Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. There's also Thinking About You by Frank Ocean, Better Off by Ariana Grande. So it's very wide range. I'm not sure if when someone who's not a synesthete listens to these playlists, if they seem cohesive. I would be so interested to hear from one of you who's listened to the playlist and like if it comes across as having a certain vibe. So going back a little bit to something that I said about how these like color associations, the way that I've sorted them into mood and then a number, have stories that go along with it. Some of these boards on Pinterest, when I first started them, they were storyboards. So they were things that I thought might become short stories or novellas or books. I found that the more I went with them, it was really hard to keep them as storyboards and color association boards. So I ended up switching some of them. However, one of them is a story that I someday hope to write. I don't think it's yet time, but it is the one called Mood 3, if you want to check it out and be curious. Going back to trying to explain this a little bit, Mood 4, what I have put in the description of the board on Pinterest, it says, the anxious one who lives in the sun. So to me, the kind of storyline of this is like someone who has maybe nervous energy or who struggles with anxiety, but is very aware of the good things in life, is more aware of thankfulness. That idea of like living your life in the sunshine and focusing on the sunshine. I think the color yellow to me has like a wildness with it, which is where that anxiety comes in, or like where that just like vibrant happiness comes in. It's like how you feel with your friends who are like your besties, like those friends that just make you feel more yourself, make you feel so happy to be around. And I guess now that I'm looking at this board, I do have some things in here that are like not fully platonic. I did say earlier that the color yellow is usually platonic, but I think what I meant by that is that it's not in love. Being in love is not the color yellow, but like the early stages of dating and like that fluttery feeling, that's yellow probably to me. The other thing that I associate with yellow is like the kind of energy that you get when you drink way too much caffeine. Like that kind of nervous energy and productivity when you drink coffee and you just want to like go do all the things, or you like wake up at 5 a.m. and for some reason you're like, let's go be productive. That is just a yellow mood to me. That's also why I named these mood and then a number, because in my mind it's like, oh, that's a mood. Like that's a yellow mood. So mood 4, the number 4, has to do with yellow to me. So mood 4 is like the yellow mood. Does this make sense? I feel like I'm talking about something that no one's gonna understand. One of the things that I have pinned on the Pinterest board is the word beamish. Adjective, beaming with happiness, optimism, or anticipation. This probably makes sense even to people who are not synesthetes, but the color yellow and the color green often really go together. I think to me they're both positive colors for the most part, although most colors can have both. At least the point that I'm in right now in my life, they're both positive colors. I feel like that's probably enough examples. Maybe I'll just play one of the songs on the playlist real quick. Let's see, what's a good one? This is a song by the K-pop group Winner, by the way. That's another reason that I really like this playlist, is because it's a mix of all the music that I listen to. K-pop, K-R&B, Western music, it's all in there, so Honestly, I've been talking for like 20 minutes now and I'm not even sure if I explained it that well. So if you would like me to make more of these videos where I explain like the mood and then a number and tell you a little bit about what it means, I would love to do that. It's super fun for me. It is definitely one of like the ways that I channel creativity. These Pinterest boards and playlists, it often helps me really write if I'm kind of stuck, or it helps me like work through emotions and get into a positive place. So yeah, if you want to hear more about it, comment down below and ask me questions. I feel like I should keep talking until I finish my tea. I was rather disappointed that I didn't have a mug that matches the aesthetic that I was talking about today. Done! So that is it for this rambly, random video. I hope that you all are having a wonderful day, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, and I will see you tomorrow in my next video.